Kenny Ose. Thank you, Kenny. Thanks for the love. And we have a thumbs up from MC Ismail UK. Thank you for that. So anyone out there who is watching us, let us know where you're watching from, and use the comment button so that we can acknowledge you and also give you a shout out there to wherever you are watching. So we are global, we are worldwide, and we do appreciate that you are watching us so that we can acknowledge your presence for joining us in here. So Sis Omalara will be sharing her life story. What we will probably, I will go to our next presenter. It will be Melissa. Melissa's topic is exciting, and I love this one because we do this, all of us, we do this one. We do all of this one. So, Sis Melissa, go ahead.
Okay. Yes, thank you, Regina. This is a very exciting topic, and because it's very common, one of the sneaky habits that can hold us back from success, from confidence, is negative self talk. And, just a quick meaning is that it's an inner voice, right, that is negative. And sometimes it's very mean, and it's just that inner critic of ourselves, and it's actually very harmful. And sometimes we don't know that we're doing it until we actually feel the symptoms, like we're having a lot of stress, just like Chioma had mentioned about procrastination. It gives you a lot of stress, and negative self-talk also gives you a lot of stress, and it can be excessive, right? Because sometimes when your environment are is full of negativity, and also the people, sometimes people say things, that really affects you, and it could actually have this big impact on ourselves, right? On the things that we do, on how we treat ourselves. And some of the examples of negative self-talk is things like, I'm not good at this. Another one is, I can never do anything right, or I'm a failure. Why do I need to try? I'm gonna fail anyways. Like, those are the things that are very common, right? And another one is, oh, I'm hopeless. And another one is, why do I even have to do it when I know that I'm not gonna be able to do it anyways? Why do I even have to try? Because I can't do it anyways, right? So these are very common, and we hear it a lot. We hear it a lot to our when we say things to ourselves, especially when we're doing a business such as this, right? When we push ourselves um, to do more and to do exciting things, sometimes some negative comments just pop up in our head and just feels like, it's just not good. It's not good for you, right? And these things could actually limit your ability to believe on ourselves, to our potentials, right? And to our abilities. It could limit us from believing in our potential, and it could diminish our ability to make positive changes in our life, right? So it's not it's it's a big deal to be experiencing this, but it's very common. It happened to me, and I'm sure it happened to a lot of people also. But there are some strategies um, to overcome this, right? You are not alone. There are some ways in order to get rid of this maybe not get rid of negative self-talk, but actually be able to manage it, right? And here's three things that you could keep in mind. So the first one is awareness. To to notice yourself when you're talking to yourself, and if it's negative, and it makes you feel down, it doesn't motivate you, it brings your confidence down, that means that's a negative self-talk, right? So notice it. And as soon as you notice it, the second thing is to to stop it right away, to stop it immediately, right? So we can do stop it, because sometimes it happens in our head, and we do have control over what happens in our head, so we can completely stop it. And the third one is to replace it with with something else. So, for example, if something's like a comment like, "I'm not good at this," you can be like, "Oh, maybe I could try to learn it and practice and keep trying and trying, and then eventually I can do it." So just replace it with something else that makes you feel uplifted, makes you feel positive, and it really motivates you into doing what you needed to do. And so the three things, let's recap. The first is notice, become aware that you're doing it. And then the second is to stop it immediately. And then the third one is to replace it with something positive.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Regina. Over to
Thank you.
you.
Thank you, sis. Thank you. So I'm gonna bring in sis Omolara in here on our side in here. Let me just take away from my exit on solo. Sis Omolara is I am one of your follower for a long time. And I did met you a long time ago when I was starting this business less than 2 years ago. I actually went back to year 2022 when you were my first guest.
I mute myself.
Yes, so it is. I am so proud that you have accepted our invitation to share to us and to motivate us about your success in this business and a little bit of your background. I think you can share to us also a little bit of background and what are your why. And for 3 years now in business, you have landed so beautifully. I was so happy when I saw you there at the convention. You
Oh,
are a God blessing to me, and to saw you there, I am so happy. I do. That is a top of blessings, an ice cream of the cake when I saw you there. So, Sis Omolara, I'm gonna put you on a solo. Go ahead.
all right. Thank you so much. I'm so delighted this evening to be among you ladies. Job well done. I mean, I see all your go live all the time. I'm like, okay, I think I need to come back, right? And so I'm so grateful for giving me the opportunity to be among you all tonight. Oh, wow. Where do I start from? My story. I mean, if I start now, we probably will not finish tonight. Anyway, as sis Sutherland, introduced me, my name is Omolara, OT, originally from Nigeria, um, reside in US, Houston, Texas to be precise. I've been in Houston, US for the past almost 18 years, since 2006. And so after I relocated to, US, back home, we always think, okay, coming to abroad, coming to diaspora, when you get here, everything is so rosy, we like our mentality back then, like, oh, they pluck money on the tree, right? So, when I got here, you just have to start, regardless of your background, your educational background back home, you just have to start from somewhere. You are not, just because you are not in the system, you are just getting into the system. So everything was so like, I at the point I got frustrated, like, okay, so do I have to start all over again? I wasn't in the healthcare field back home. I was in the financial sector back home. So getting here, I found myself, in healthcare field. So I'm like, okay, gradually, I was doing it. At a point, I noticed that I needed more, because it's not always enough. If anybody that cares to listen to me, it is not, whatever we are making is not always enough. We always need more. And so I found myself in the situation whereby one income is not enough for me anymore. Even with my husband income is not enough, it's not enough for the family. So I started digging, like, okay, I just have to do 2 jobs. I just have to do 3 jobs. So I started doing, I started looking for another job. I added one more to it, making 2 jobs. is not still enough. The the more job you do, the more you tend to have more expenses, right? And so I found myself doing two jobs. At the point again, I learned that okay, two is not enough as well. So I had to like look for another PRN, you know, just to like make the family comfortable. So at the end of the day, while doing all this job, I never knew, it's going to tell on my health, number one. And number two, at the detriment of my children, because I was not able to see my children anymore. These are the family,
Mhm.
a lovely family that, we are always together. We see each other at any time. But for the fact that I had to go out of my way to go look for another job, so, giving me less time for my family, for my husband and my children. And so that was bringing us apart gradually. So it was when I realized that this thing is, bringing us apart gradually, and my health was in jeopardy at that time because, you know, having multiple jobs, not able to sleep, the time that you were supposed to sleep, that same time I used that time to go clocking at another job. So the stress and the burnout was so much for me to the extent that I couldn't take it anymore. So I started going to the hospital, seeing different specialists. It was telling on my health seriously that they started, prescribing me so much medication for this, for this, for this. At the end of the day, when I realized I'm taking so much medication, more than 10 medication for different things in one single body, and going back to emergency room back to back, I'm like, I had to sit down one day and say to myself, because so many times when I'm coming back from work, I'm going to be at the steering right in front of this of the lights, the traffic lights. I'm already gone. So another car from behind or beside me will, honk their horn that, okay, ma'am, you are sleeping right there. I'm already gone, sleeping at the steering. So when that was so much for me, then I realized this could be, it could lead to death. It could lead to anything, even with my health. So then I decided, okay, I need to slow down. What if I make all this money, right? And at the end of the day, of course, you're going to help family back home, right? Anybody that come to diaspora will know that we left people back home that we need to support. So at the end of the day, I said to myself, if I have to like work for the rest of my life, doing multiple jobs, simply because I want to satisfy some category of people, I want to satisfy some set of people, I want to live, according to my American dream, I'm just going to kill myself. So at the end of the day, if I make all this money, who is going to spend it? Anybody in the grave? Will anybody in the grave spend money? They don't spend money in the grave. And so I sat myself down, coupled with the fact that my health is in jeopardy, my marriage is in jeopardy. I'm like, no, I need to slow down. So then I started digging on the internet, like, okay, what can I do on the internet? After I started digging for like almost 6 months, I got one, it was a scam. I'm like, okay, I moved back. But later on, I still said, I still need something. I cannot continue living my life like this. So luckily for me, one day on my Facebook, I came across an ad, and the ad was telling me, the lady was saying, oh, if you are doing, what really got me in that ad was, if you are doing multiple jobs, and which I was doing, that if you're doing multiple jobs and you're thinking you want to cut down your job, you need your life back, you need this back. I said to myself, she don't even know me, but she's telling my story. So I said, I reached out quickly. I didn't even take time. I didn't even waste time. I reached out to her when I saw that, okay, she's a live person I can talk to, because usually the first one I did, there was nobody to talk to. There was no phone number. And I spent so much money on that. So, but this one, what gave me the assurance that probably, 50-50, that, okay, it could be genuine. It might not be genuine. Is because I was able to reach her on the phone. So I spoke with this lady, and she said, yes, I live in Canada. I'm like, I'm in US. So are you for real? She said, yes, she's for real. That they have a business. that the business is an online business, I started making research about it. I started making research. I joined the webinar, the workshop. I keep joining. I didn't just stop on one day because I really want to know what I'm getting myself involved into. So I started, joining the webinar. I look at the webinar, I watched the live webinar like up to 4 times before I was fully convinced enough that yes, this is real. Because I was able to see a lot of people in the workshop, people from Canada, from Australia, from Japan. Now I'm like, I was so much convinced. So I after a little while, I joined the business. So by the time I joined the business, long story short, 8 months after I joined the business, I quit one full-time job. So after which I quit the full-time job, my health, I was getting back my health in a positive way gradually. My kids were able to see me. I still maintain one full-time and one part-time. But my kids were like, compared to 8 months ago, they were seeing me right at home. And so after that, a year after that, that was 8 months. Then one year, exactly 1 year, when I started this business, I put off even the part-time, leaving me with one full-time. And as God will have it, as God willing, immediately after I quit the part-time, shortly after then again, I was getting my health back. At the end of the day, all these specialists I was seeing cardiologists, pulmonary, this, that. So I stopped seeing them. All this CPAP machine and all that, I stopped using them because my health, I was gaining back my life. The business has replaced so much that I can even quantify in my life. Not to talk of the financial, I'm not even talking about the financial aspect, but health-wise, marriage-wise, I got my marriage back, I got my life back. So the business restored my life in so many ways. It restored my family. I was able to see my children every single day, to the extent that before, if they're having any activity, any program at their school, I don't attend any single one. I never for one time. And so it breaks my heart because when if the little time I'm going to see them, they cry to me that, mommy, I don't like what is going on. You and daddy, you go out in the morning, daddy will come back at night. We only have little time to spend with you. You only have little time to spend with us. So it broke my heart, right? Then they will come back home and tell me, oh, mommy, our friend, their mother, their mom and their dad, they came. Even at work, I will be crying. I keep on telling God, please, if you can do this for me, I'm a Christian person. I'm a child of God, and I believe in God strongly. I told God, I said, if you can do this for me, I will serve you for the rest of my life because I need my family back. I need my health, but I don't want my children to mingle with bad friends. I don't want another people to raise my children for me, right? So the business restored my family back. It restored my health back. And after all that was done, since I came into this country, I never traveled out of United States of America, in my 17 years that time. So this business has really helped me, to be able to travel. I never travel. All the time that I take my vacation, I use all my vacation time in about 15 years in the hospital on the sick bed. And so with that, I was able to see all my family back home. I traveled first time in 17 years. I traveled back home last year, which the business allowed me to, which the business did for me. And also I had to travel back home this year. So anybody that is out there looking at us at this time, there is nothing, if you put your mind at something, believe you can do it. And then one thing I realized is what, set most people back is like based on the topic we are treating now, right? Like the habits that we do before, although I do give gratitude, what I would say is one of my topic I'm going to mention is on gratitude. Not everybody knows how to give gratitude, you know, and most people lack gratitude, right? And then daily gratitude is what gives us success. But if you don't have that gratitude habit in you, I'm going to say most people have, I mean, everybody, let's say 99.9 people in the world, we all have both, we tend to have both bad attitude and good attitude. But most people allow those bad attitude, I mean, bad habits to outweigh their good habits, in the sense that, if doctor tell you don't smoke, right? And you are still smoking. Of course, you know the consequence. If you are smoking, it's definitely going to affect your lungs. Being in the healthcare field, I know what all this thing means. So if the doctor advise you, okay, because maybe you are obesity, the doctor advise you go reduce your weight, and still you are eating junk, putting junk in your stomach, in your system, what do you expect? You're going to get the result of eating junk food. Likewise, somebody that is, that is taking smoking. So people tends to have bad attitude, and the bad attitude outweigh the good one. So success habit doesn't take much at all. It doesn't take much time to implement, but we fail to realize that we need to give daily gratitude. During the time I started this business, I'm like, okay, I see business, okay, I'm okay, I'm doing fine now, right? But I failed to realize that even at a little milestone, you need to celebrate yourself. Celebrate yourself and give gratitude to God. It is not by your power, that makes you to get to that milestone, that makes you to get that milestone. So giving daily attitude, it is so crucial in everybody's life. When you wake up every day, you need to give gratitude. You wake up daily, you say, even you don't know anything to say, just say, Lord, I thank you. Because guess what? There are a lot of people in the grave that, had they been the people in the grave still talk, they will be saying that, God, I still want to, glorify you. But because they are in the grave, they cannot even glorify God. So if you're out there, you don't know how to give daily gratification, you are making a lot of mistakes, because the more gratification you give, the more blessings will come your way. So developing attitude, um, gratitude, it allows us to, get things, positive things along our way. It allows us, it allows God to bless us
Mhm.
beyond our imagination. So if you're out there, once again, daily, you need to give daily gratitude, because it is so important. It is attached to our success. Daily gratitude is attached to our success, because if you don't give that daily gratitude, you think, you know, everything is just coming your way, like you own it. That it just have to happen that way. It don't have to happen that way. There are a lot of people out there that are looking onto God. Some people, your own prayer, your own situation, your own problem is another person's prayer point. So if you are complaining every time that, oh, because you are looking at people's success, you have not getting to that success, to that pace they are, you are looking at you are looking at your problem, right? You are not gratifying God that, okay, at least for this little thing you have done for me, I thank you, right? And you are just looking onto those who have made it ahead of you. You're going to make a lot of mistake, because that will not allow you to focus on where you are going, number one. And number two, it will not allow you to give gratitude to God, because you just, all what you're going to be seeing is in your brain is the achievement of other people,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
will bring you down to not knowing how to say thank you, even for this little thing that you have done for me. If you say thank you to the little things that God has done for you, then big things are coming your way. So on that, then when I during the time, before I got to my 3 years in the business, a lot happened in my journey. During the course of my journey in the business, a lot happened, to the extent that even for 3 months I was homeless. This is somebody that had a home under a roof. I was homeless because what happened? Tornado and hurricane happened in Texas at that time. So even at that, I wanted to stop my business. I told God, I said, remember I told you, if you can do this for me, I will serve you and thank you for the rest of my life. And so when that storm came, almost swept me off, at that time, I'm like, okay, what do I even need to say thank you for? Right? Like, what do I need to say thank you for? The business I just started, barely one year. This thing happened. Now I'm homeless with my family, 3 solid months. But at a point, Holy Spirit ministered to me that, okay, is it by your power that makes you to be where you are today? It is not by your power. Whatever situation you are facing today is just by the way. It's not a permanent situation. You definitely getting out of that situation. Then I realized I've sinned. So immediately I had to, like, reassess myself and start asking for forgiveness, that Lord, please forgive me. I know I've done wrong, for saying that statement. And since that time, that I started learning how to give even more than before, more gratitude than before, then things that I never even imagined, great things start falling my way. So anybody out there, please, if you don't know how to give gratitude, you need to learn how to, it is a must. Like I said earlier, it is attached to our success in life.
Yeah. Yeah. Or just sis, I'm just gonna stop in here. I wanna acknowledge our viewers
All right.
as I wanna say gratitude. Thank you so much, everyone, for giving us love. Oluwa Femi, Omi Kunle, Jolines D, Kenny Ose. Thank you so much. Thumbs up from Baba Lola, Baba Tunde, Maria Moraes, MC Ismail Yuche. And I want to just also show it in here for from Baba Lola, Baba Tunde. Good work. And from Gemma Easton, it's our business partner. I don't know why is she doing there. She can join us, but she's not joining us. Thank you, sis. You can join us if you want to. Sis Omalara, amazing share. Amazing. God has put you in the real hard test to challenge you, your faith, challenge you to become homeless. You have so much faith and so much strong that irregardless of your negative situation or how bad your life is, you have given gratitude. Yeah. It is true that when you give gratitude to God, He will bless you because He acknowledged that you are welcoming His heart. It is the something I also have experienced when before I become a business owner. Gratitude is not my daily lives because how could I give gratitude when my life is sad and dark, when I have my health issue is falling apart, when I know I'm gonna lose my job, when I know every day I go to work I have to fight for my job, when I have to prove all the time that I can do my job. I could not give gratitude because I am engulfed with negative thoughts and darkness. And so this is a very good live session that we have built those negative aura that is stopping us to succeed. So we're gonna have to change that negative habits, negative belief, negative self-talk into a positive growth and into giving gratitude no matter what we have received from God, no matter what blessing we have to give gratitude. And from there, we do our best what we can, and the outcome will be left to God. We need to have faith and we have to have faith to God that whatever it is that come, it is God's will and He has planned for us. So I'm gonna bring in Sis Margot to. This is so good for it, Sis Margot, for the resistance to change because irregardless of how bad we are in, as we learn how to adapt and to change, God will bless us. Go ahead, Sis.
Yeah, thank you so much. And that was a very, very touching story there, Malara. Thanks for sharing. So I'm Margot. I've been in the business for a year and a half, and I'm gonna talk about resistance to change as one of the hindrances to achieving success. And so change in our lives, it's everywhere. From from a very young age, you go into school, right, from in kindergarten, for instance. That's a change. right? And then when you go from elementary to high school, that is a change. If you're changing schools, going to university, that is a change. Then from university, graduating in your degree, and then you start a new job, that is a change, right? And then as you go through, if you're staying in the same company and growing in the company, taking on bigger responsibilities, or changing jobs within the organization, or changing um, to or moving to another company, those are all changes, right? In a personal life, from being a student to starting a family, that is a change. Getting married, that is a change. So change is everywhere. Buying a new home is a change. Buying a new car is a change. So everything in our life, you see change everywhere. So change is constant. It's change is how we adapt to change, right? So, um, based on Omalara's story, and I'm sure a lot of you, myself included, like we've gone through difficult times in our life, and no matter how difficult your situation is, that is temporary. There is a way out of that situation. You just have to recognize the opportunity as it presents itself to you, and you also have to be aware of uh, what is it that you are resisting to, and why you are resisting to that change, right? So I've given examples of changes. For me, one of the big changes for me was also moving my family from my home country in to Canada. So that was a major, major change for me and my family. But when you're faced with the opportunity, um the it's human nature. It like your default is, it's something new, I don't know what to do. I'm not sure if this is something I want to do. Same thing when I was looking for a change. I wanted to um earn extra income without having to take a second job, because I've been there, I've done that. I've done multiple jobs, and it's just not the way I want to live my life, because it's taking away time for myself and my family, and it's also affecting my health. So when I made that decision, that I needed a change, I started looking. And this is sort of like how you deal with change, how do you adapt to the change, is really one is recognizing what is it that you want to change in your life, right? And staying committed to finding a solution, finding what is it that is going to take me change my circumstances, and acknowledging also, like, what is it that is um making me fear the change, right? It's really and sis Lena also mentioned this. It's fear of the change. That is one. And the second thing is, um just staying in your comfort zone because it's comfortable, right? So going into something new is uncomfortable, but how you can overcome that is really understanding and learning more about it. So in this business, what we do is we give you the opportunity to learn about the business before even you dive into it. So we have the webinar, free webinar, where you can learn about what this business is all about. And then once you decide to join into the business, we also provide support and resources, all the tools that you need, and also the training and the mentorship, so that that alleviates the uncertainty, right? So what's really driving your resistance is, one is fear, and the other one is uncertainty. So how you overcome is really to get more information, and once you dive in and you make that decision, commit to it. And we, as a community, as a global community, our commitment to you is also providing you that support that you need so that you can succeed. You're on mute,
Yeah, I
Regine.
was just doing getting ready for this one. Yeah, thank you so much. It is a change. As change is difficult, it's because it is the uncertainty of what to look forward on the change, because you do not know what is in the other side of change. And that is the most fearful thing, that we as human beings are alarmed and warned that we are not prepared for a change, because there is a lot of sacrifices to do a change. You're going to give up something that is at your hands that you don't want to lose. But keep open, because when you lose something, you actually gain more as you slowly move on to that change state. And be brave, not to be scared of what is the unknown, because you need a change. That's why you don't want to stay the way your life is. You want to change. That's why you need to be brave and face it and be determined and be committed to it. So, sis Amy, I will get into you to your solo as we are running out of time. Please get into you the learning uh, thought about self-discipline and how is it adapting to our business.
Hello, I'm back, and thank you, Regina. And oh, it's so good to listen all the presenters here, and I learned a lot. And thank you, Omalara, for having us today with us. So, lack of self-discipline is one of the striking habits, and why we can reach our success. So, I know if you don't have self discipline, you're in trouble. But what I mean is, of course, we are humans and we are not perfect. But if it regards to our personal lives, our profession, our careers, our life, and our everyday living, and especially in our online business, self discipline is a must. So, I know I have this book. It's not to show, but it's I just mentioned it's an Atomic Habits by James Clear, and I'm starting to read right now, and it's about the tiny changes for remarkable results. So it is an easy and proven way to build good habits and break bad ones. So he mentioned about breaking a chain. So self-discipline. I know I'm one of those who are not consistent and disciplined, lack of discipline. Sometimes because, for example, physical fitness, I have to tell to myself that I have to go walking at least per day. A few minutes is fine, or anything that give my bulletproof mindset. Because if I don't do that, then I will not tell to myself I'm not disciplining myself. So dieting, if in case you are on the dieting for self-discipline, you must tell to yourself with intention that this is what I need to do. Reading a book. So all these things will compile, will need self-discipline. So one to do that is just make it easy. And I know for myself, to help me to be disciplined at least, is I had a planner. Because if I don't have a planner and I know put my things to do, and my priorities, non-priorities, and those things that can wait later, and the urgent ones. If I don't do those things, I mess up my schedule, and distractions will come, and I will not be productive for those days. So, two things: planner or schedule. A timer is good also to make us more committed on our schedule. And those are like simple things for us to track our habits as well, in order for us to have those good habits to be developed for good results. So that's all for me. And thank you.
Thank you, Sis Amy. So I just want to welcome Sis Gemma. Gemma, thanks for joining us. Thank you so much. And we unfortunately be out of time. We already mistook almost an hour. So yes, thank you so much, everyone. Sis Omolora, I salute you. Um, one day we will be joining you again. We hope to see you at the next convention.
I hope so.
Okay, I'm just have a quick heart over here. I have a quick heart from Oluwafemi Omikunle, thank you so much. Thank you so much for catching up. Rita Isaac, I'm just gonna read them all. Rita Isaac, Thomas, thank you for thumbs up. Rita is one of our business partner. Baba Lola, Baba Tunde, thank you. Maria Moraes, thank you so much. MC Ismail Yuche, thank you so much. And love from Oluwapemi Omikunle, Jolins D, and Kenny Osens. Thank you so much, everyone. And we hope that we have given you an inspiration and a motivation to check on yourself. What are those sneaky habits that you unknowingly build up and created to block your success? And you have heard our story. We just have a quick summary in here. Negative self-talk, self-discipline. With Margot, I can't see everything.
Resistance
Self-discipline.
to change.
Margot,
Resistance to change.
resistance to
Resistant
change.
change.
That is very hard, but you need to be prepared for change and
Yeah.
have the bravery to face the unknown. Procrastination, time is very valuable. And the most of it is fear of failure. Do not fear failure, because that is the stepping stone to get into to where you want to be. Thank you so much, everyone, and say bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye. Thank
Have a great
you.
Bye.
weekend.